while admitting them, we must have some ways and means to measure their graduate attribute. I believe it cannot be zero.
Oh, okay.
When we are giving them training,
Ah.
at the time when we are going to award them degree, at the same time again we'll measure it and we'll see to what extent their graduate attribute has been raised up. And if possible, they should be awarded the same parameters in their mark sheet rather than subject values, subject marks, because the outcomes are being measured in terms of graduate attributes.
You are right.
Exactly,
So
sir.
if we can measure it precisely, if we can measure it precisely, only then it can be possible. And for that implementation, the question paper that is being put before them for solving, there should be questions that are there to measure the graduate attribute precisely. If the question is meant for 4 marks, then if it is being awarded 1, 2, or 3, or 4, then what graduate attribute is being affected by that? That should be some provision should be there, so that we can see by studying a subject the graduate attributes has been affected to what extent, and what graduate attribute has been affected by a subject. I believe one subject cannot be there for affecting all the graduate attributes.
Correct. Yeah.
So rather than giving them mark sheet, we should give them a sheet where their graduate attribute has been mentioned, and okay, it may be pertaining to a certain branch of engineering.
Yeah.
If they qualify to attain a certain level of graduate attribute, they may be awarded degree.
Okay. Yeah. Is it over or some more?
Oh, okay, fine, sir. I think I have completed my talks.
Okay. Good, very good suggestion, Professor A.K. Sharma, right?
Sharma.
Ah, okay. Professor A.K. Sharma, it is really wonderful thought. Actually, there is some provision already. In the sense, we are. I don't know whether you have gone for NBA accreditation so far in your institute. Whether you have gone for NBA accreditation?
Yeah, we have been.
Okay. Which year you have gone, sir? Which year you have gone for NBA accreditation and you got?
Recent years, I don't remember exactly the year, but okay, in recent years we have been gone through NBA accreditation many times.
Fine. Actually, as you rightly told, even the questions which we are asking in the examination and internal test and the other things, as per the NBA accreditation, it has to be mapped with the course outcome which we have written. Number one. Number two, that course outcome is naturally mapped with program outcome, that is which is nothing but the expansion of graduate attributes. So already there is a link between the question paper which we are asking and that is questions we are asking in the test and in the examination. There is a relationship between that and course outcome, and there is a mapping between course outcome and program outcome. So, but what is missing really is, as you rightly told, instead of marks at the end of the 4-year program, we can always say this student is having these graduate attributes, right? Possibly in a different level, right? Possibly in an application level or analysis level, or just so like that we can think of, right? And then instead of giving marks, it will be given as a competency. The students are having these competencies, right? So that will definitely help even the employer to find out, right, what kind of real competencies they have and which is mentioned in the certificate, as well as they can check also. So
employability of the students may be measured or may be seen in terms of graduate attributes. Yes, employability of the candidates may be seen in terms of graduate attribute. A candidate with a certain graduate attributes may be suitable for job 1, and the same candidate may be suitable for job too for the different regions.
Yeah,
So
you are right. If
this
for
will
example,
help the employers to take a decision while choosing a candidate. But we have to be high, but the precision of measure should be very high.
correct.
While
Correct.
taking the candidates into the system, that means the entrance examination should also be having this parameter. The entrance examination should also be having this parameter to measure the graduate attribute of the students while entering into the system.
Correct. So,
And while releasing them to serve the society, there also
correct.
the measurement
Yeah,
should be there. But we have to ensure that the measurement should be highly precisable. I mean, by highly precise, I mean precision of the measure should be
correct.
very high, because
Yeah,
this will
definitely.
affect their entire career.
Not even to measure that, you can really work on a particular rubrics, right? At the end of the program also, that is 4-year degree program, right? To measure exactly what kind of a graduate attributes he has attained, right? We will be able to make a rubrics for that. So I will show you one sample of rubrics, right? Even though my session is on open-ended experiments, since you asked this question,
But some seeding value may be there. When they are entering into the system, there may be certain seed value
yeah,
of the
I
graduate
agree with
attribute.
you. They are not blank papers. I agree with you
It may be
that
blank, and there should be a certain threshold. If a person is entering into the system with this graduate attribute, and you want to enhance this type of graduate attribute, is it possible to enhance that or not? The
correct.
threshold should be
Yeah,
there,
the threshold value
under which
at the
it may be
entry should
rejected
be there.
and over which it may be taken into the system.
Correct. You are right. You are right. Actually, in the examination reforms, this also need to be very pertinent, right? Like changing the marks, right? Actually, the marks, unfortunately, I call them as a disease. Don't take it otherwise. I call them as SMS, salaried middle class syndrome, right? Mark, don't take it otherwise, because that is actually a disease which we have, right? That we'll have to come out of that, as you rightly told.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, माफ कीजिएगा. Actually, मैं मार्क्स विषय में बोल नहीं रहा हूँ. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि well, there should be some way to measure the graduate attribute,
Correct.
and the measurement should be perfect,
Yeah, it is
because
there.
it will affect
It
the
is there
candidate's
already.
entire life.
Yeah, it is there already in the NBA accreditation methodology, but we may have to possibly strengthen that and then make it. So
It's very difficult. I find it very difficult.
But we can make it. We can definitely make it.
Yeah,
If we want, we can work
combined
on
effort
it.
may be fruitful. Combined effort may be fruitful if we all join our hands.
Yeah, definitely. No. In this aspect, if you want my support, possibly we can work on that in future also. I am ready to work with you.
Nice,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Nice, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this is not there is no prescriptive specific answer for that. We may have to work on it and then fine tune it and so on. So
Exactly.
possibly it is a process which will take some time, right? But
Certainly, agree with you.
Huh?
I agree with you.
Yeah. You will have to work on it, and then it is worth working on it. That is what I will say. Okay. Thank you very much. Since Professor A.K. Sharma asked the pertinent question, I would like to show rubrics which will measure the graduate attributes indirectly. Then I will go for my actual session on open-ended experiments. That open-ended experiments really will not take much time. So what I will do is I will go to the rubrics first. Rubrics already I have discussed yesterday, but since he asked certain questions today, I thought of showing one more sample of rubrics, right, which is I will share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
What is that you are?
Assessment rubrics.
Okay. Assessment rubrics for a particular subject called thermodynamics. I hope some mechanical engineers will be there in this group. I hope.
Yes, sir. There.
Okay.
There
Okay.
are.
There are. But doesn't matter whether it is mechanical engineering or any other domain. Doesn't matter. But this is the rubrics to assess various outcomes, right, or attributes, right. For example, an ability to apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, and engineering. That is attribute number 1, engineering knowledge, right. An ability to identify formulate and solve engineering problems. That is graduate attribute 2, problem analysis. An ability to communicate effectively, attribute number 10. The broad education necessary to understand impact of engineering solutions in a global economic and environmental and societal context, right. This is also possibly attribute number 6 and 7 also, right. And knowledge of contemporary issues, ability to use techniques, skills, modern engineering tools necessary for engineering practice. This is actually a graduate attribute number 5 and others also. So what a person has done who has developed this particular rubrics is through a particular course on thermodynamics, right. How do you make assessment of various program outcomes, right. Now how he has done is, what he actually he has divided this 1 minute. He has divided this 6 outcome into 8 criteria. The first criteria is problem setup, right, where the outcome A and E are addressed. That is engineering knowledge and problem analysis. Mathematical modeling is the second criteria, where the engineering knowledge is addressed. Engineering problem solving, which is outcome E, is addressed, problem analysis. And fourth criteria, which is global economic, environmental, and societal impact. That is outcome H is addressed. Project report and organization. That is also a communication, no written communication. So written communication, it is G1, right? The communication they have divided into 2, written and oral, right? So G1 is addressed. Project presentation, that is oral presentation though, so G2 is addressed. Contemporary issues and modern use of modern engineering tool. Now just see the descriptions also, right. Whether problems are translated into proper mathematical forms which are ready to be solved, right. That is exceeding the expectation. That is the performance indicator, right. Exceeding the expectation. You can meet the expectation. Some student can exceed the expectation. Some students does not meet the expectation, right. So there are 3 performance indicators, so for which you are writing the descriptors like combines mathematics and our scientific principles to formulate the models of thermodynamics, executes calculation currently by hand, right, and are using mathematical and engineering software. engineering problem solving. Design project includes content information that shows good understanding of impact in a global economical, environmental, and societal context. So why I am showing this is, right, you may have to possibly at the end of the program, total 4-year program, you may have to develop rubrics like this, and then assess them, and then finally in the certification you may have to mention these are all the attributes this particular person has at different level, right? Project report and organization is material are organized and easy to follow, correct grammar and spelling. A clear, effective, and organized presentation for project presentation. Contemporary issues. Design project includes content information that shows a good understanding of contemporary issues. Right? Use of modern tool. Computer and software are extensively used in the course. Right? So like that, you develop you develop a rubrics. Right? Yesterday I have shown for various student activities how do you develop a rubrics. But today I am discussing, right, for a particular engineering subject or engineering course, right, how do you assess outcomes based on rubrics. So rubrics is a very vast um, uh, area in which we'll have to work on it. So one more sample is a dynamical system, for which also knowledge and application, problem identification, problem setup, solution, modern tool usage, like that. So for design of machine element subject, one more, right, you have criteria of knowledge and application, problem identification, problem formulation, solution, right, design strategy, optimization, constraints, documentation, uh, that is content and organization, language and format, like that. There are, even for laboratories, you have rubrics, which is design and realization of experiments, teamwork, conducting experiments, laboratory safety rules, data collection, like that. You can data analysis, computer use, like that. You can definitely develop a rubrics, right, for various subjects, whether it is a theoretical subject or practical subject, right? So I wanted to, yesterday also I wanted to show, because lot of discussion was there, right? That is why I could not show this. I thought one more day is there for me. I thought of showing it, because there is a specific question also, right, from a participant. So I thought I should show this, right? So any question on this particular rubrics models, which uh, uh, which shows, right, through a subject also, a specific subject also, you'll be able to you'll be able to assess various technical attributes and professional attributes both, right? In this example, right, both technical attributes and professional attributes are addressed, right? Any questions? This one, why I have shown is, right, uh, the the example which I have shown, right, uh, similar rubrics need to be developed by you, right, for various subjects, including to assess various technical as well as professional attributes. Any questions?
No, sir. You can continue.
Okay. So, yeah, in that case, I will straight away go to the my topic on open-ended experiments. Right. After finishing that, also I can show you some more sample of rubrics. Right, which is for various technical subjects. One more set is there for me. Before that, I thought I should complete my discussion on open-ended experiments. Right. Just a minute. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just go through this particular graph which I have shown in the screen, and then tell me what is that you have understood or you are going to infer from this graph. I hope you must have gone through the graph. Can you tell me what is the inference you're getting from this graph?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Very good morning. Yes, ma'am.
Myself, Dr. Jyoti from Triple MUT.
Yeah.
As in my perspective, as I am understanding, I can see that over the years since 1950s, innovation and implementation of skills, disciplinary knowledge and analytical skills, and also work in collaborative manners is declining in engineering education.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah, I agree with you. And we have made the curriculum more theoretical. That is also shown. Am I right?
Correct. And now
Yes.
I think we want our this engineering education should be outcome based.
Yeah.
Outcome based
Outcome
education.
based,
That means,
and one more this one also I have told, which is CDIO. I don't know whether you have heard of that particular education model. There is an education model which is better than OBE. I will tell you what it is. It is called conceive, design, implement, and operate. How many of you heard the education model called conceive, design, implement, and operate, CDIO?
Not known, sir.
No, I will tell you what it is. Actually, pre 1950s, engineering was engineering in the sense it is of more practical. Number of engineering institutes were less, right? And then the engineering education was very totally practice oriented. That time it was having innovation, implementation, collaboration, and all, right? And over 4 decades, we have done we have diluted our engineering education into more of theoretical based engineering education, right? Now, having since industry people are telling your people are people are more theoreticians, right? They have engineering knowledge, no doubt. Industry people are telling your people are having a lot of engineering knowledge, no doubt, but the real application and then real teamwork, real communication, those things are missing. So real practice of the real competency is not there, right? They are knowledgeable, but the real competency is not there. That is what the complaint from industry is. So right now there are two education models across the globe, right? From 2014 onwards, we have signed the international agreement. India has signed the international agreement and has become the permanent member of the accord, There is one model called outcome-based education, which almost throughout the country we are trying to follow. I will not say we have already implemented outcome-based education, because I have been working from 2014 onwards, right? For the past 8 years, I am working on it, but still I believe lot of implementation issues there, and a lot of implementation thing strongly will have to do it. Okay, number one. Number two, there is an education model called CDIO, which is conceive, design, implement, and operate. Right? I just asked whether you have whether you understand, you know about CDIO, right? Somebody told no, right? My question to all of you is, right? There is a relationship between CDIO and open-ended experiments. That is why I'm discussing that, right? Can you imagine an institute, right? A technical institute without any theoretical classrooms? Can you assume? Can you imagine? Can you imagine an institute without any theoretical classroom in that institute? I am just asking you to imagine only, so don't worry. Tomorrow it is not going to happen, but still I want all of you to imagine.
Yes, okay.
Imagine without any theoretical classroom.
Yeah, so that government of India planning for digital university. So I think the digital university is the part of that without classroom only.
Okay. No, that is one more initiative our government is taking. I am not asking that. I am asking without theoretical classroom means in contact mode. How do you do it? In contact mode, if regular theoretical classrooms are not there, what else will be there in your institute? That is what I am asking. I am not asking about the digital classrooms, right? I am asking about if the contact you are doing only contact programs, right? If regular theoretical classrooms are not there, then what else will be there? I hope you have understood my question.
I think platform like this.
Huh?
Like online platform like this, MS Teams
no. I am asking about contact program only. Assume that tomorrow you are going to your institute physically, and there are no theoretical classrooms available. Okay, then what else will be there?
There should be laboratories, sir, in which we can explain.
Exactly. There will be only laboratories
along with theoretical knowledge.
Wait. The laboratories will be there in your institute. Through practice only, students learn. Like that it is. Because in this particular graph, it is shown that we have come from practice to science and practice. After that, only science. That means we have made our engineering education more theoretical. Now I am telling you, make it more practical, in the sense only laboratories need to be there. But you may ask a question, sir, where we will discuss the theoretical one. Along with practice, you need to discuss the theories if it is needed, right? As and when it is required. Not theory separately, and then theory separately in the morning, and then practical separately in the evening. No, right? So what I am trying to tell is, there is a model called CDIO, where students are they need to conceive an idea, they need to design an idea, conceived idea, they need to implement, and they need to operate in the institute alone, right? What is happening really in the industry need to happen in the institute, right? So the education model is not teacher-centered model. It is totally student-centered model, integrated curriculum, right? Which is more of practice, right? And a little bit of theory in between, right? Wherever it is required. So the education model, I will show you the website also, right? There is a space for conceiving, there will be space for designing, there will be space for implementing, there will be space for operating. If you implement this curriculum, right, what will be the outcome of your students? Can anybody uh, 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 get an idea what will be the outcome of your students? Question to you is, if the CDIO model is implemented, what will be the outcome? The students will be developing various projects, products, systems in the institute itself. That is the model, right? I will show you a particular website, which is cdio.org. Whether you are able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
What is that you are seeing?
CDIO slide, sir, and
Okay.
we have to log in or register at this window.
Okay. Now, this particular website, you can afterwards, after my session, you can go through, right? What is CDIO based education? I will show you. Can anybody read for me these 5 points?
It's written, sir, education, and an education that stresses the fundamentals set in the context of conceiving, designing, implementing, operating systems and products.
Okay.
First point is a curriculum organized around mutually supporting courses, but with CDIO activities highly interwoven, rich with student design build test projects, integrating learning of professional skills such as teamwork and communication, featuring active and experimental learning, and constantly improved through quality assurance process with higher aims than accreditation.
Yeah. Now, actually, CDIO model is this. Students need to, it is a project-based learning. We were talking about project-based learning yesterday also, right? It is totally a project-based integrated model of education, where the students need to design, build, test projects, right? And they'll have to conceive an idea, design the idea from the first year onwards, right? There is no, actually, right now we have come to a mini project and major project level, but the whole curriculum, if it is a project-based model, right? Already people have done that from 1997 onwards. Remember, I will show you a history also, history of CDIO, right? And then I will show you how many institutes are following across the globe this model. Whether you are able to see the history, which year it started?
1997, sir.
Yeah, 1997 it started. Yeah, almost 25 years. So remember, the CDIO model is better than outcome-based education, for your information. But even outcome-based education is not, to my knowledge, it is not 100% implemented in our country. That is a status. But now we may have to slowly think about this model also, right? And then you may have to work on it. So for in this model, graduating engineer should be able to conceive, design, implement, and operate, right? They are they need to have a personal skills, interpersonal skills, technical attributes, and they need to conceive, design, implement, and operate. So this much level that will have to come, and then I can show you the syllabus also. But before that, I need to ask one thing. If this particular CDIO model need to be implemented, what is the basic requirement? Can you tell me, right? What is the basic requirement in our curriculum to implement CDIO model? Any guess? No reply. Are any questions on this model, CDIO model? Why? I don't know whether I am making sense, right?
Surely it makes sense, sir. Surely. Yeah.
Yeah, but thing is there any specific question on CDIO model? Because based on that only I want to discuss open-ended experiments, because this CDIO model is totally open-ended only. There is no cookbook experiments at all, right? So that is why I have shown this model, CDIO model. Any questions? What is the timeline possibly India may take to have this model? I will show you. I will show you who are all done already, started the CDIO model. 1 minute, I'll show you that CDIO map. I will show you. Whether you are able to see the map. Across the globe, 120 collaborating institutions are there based on CDIO model. I am just zooming to India. India, there are how many institutes are there? Which started the CDIO initiative. Four institutes are there from India. They have started the CDIO initiative recently. Now I will go to my presentation. Before discussing about the open-ended experiments, I would like to discuss about one program outcome, which is conduct investigation of complex problems using research-based knowledge and research methods, including design of experiments, analysis and interpretation of data, and synthesis of information to provide valid conclusion. Whether this particular outcome is there, no, as program outcome 4, am I right? As per the NBA? No reply. I don't know whether you have become very tired.
No, sir, we are here.
Okay. Because I'm not getting the reply at all. So.
Yes, sir, it is very much clear to understand whatever you are delivering. But also, there is no problem in understanding, sir.
Okay, that is why no questions. Okay.
You are very much clear at your part. Whatever you are delivering, it is very much explainable.
Okay. Fine. In that case, okay. Fine.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And it is a very new term, new thing, but it is related to engineering, and I am a student of teaching MBA. That's why I'm only listening. I don't have any questions because I'm only learning it through from you.
Okay. Yeah, but even in management, you can incorporate these things.
Definitely, we can incorporate it. It is very new and innovative thing of learning, sir.
Okay.
First time I'm getting to know about this thing.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Now, in this particular program outcome, students need to conduct investigation of complex problems using research-based knowledge, research methods, including design of experiments, analysis and interpretation of data, synthesis of information to provide valid conclusion. Now, what kind of experiments we are doing already, I will show you. There are 6 levels of laboratory input, right? In the laboratory input, right, the lowest level which we are generally doing is demonstration, right? All of you demonstrate the experiment in the laboratory, am I right? As faculty members? Yes,
sir.
Yeah. Now, when the demonstration is happening, right, who is learning? Whether teacher is learning or student is learning?
The student, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir. It is two-way actually. Whenever experiment is there,
No.
It is a learning for both of them because it can be very unpredictable.
No. When I ask a question, right, actually, students are supposed to learn, okay? But while you are demonstrating, who is demonstrating actually?
Teacher.
Who is demonstrating?
Teacher, sir.
Teacher is demonstrating. When teacher is demonstrating, who will learn more?
So then teacher will learn more.
Teacher will learn more, okay? But demonstration is required. I am not telling no to that. But the minimum learning will happen to the students, right? Very minimum, because you are only demonstrating. They will be able to find out, right, what is the procedure and things like that. They have not done it. So that means the minimum learning, right? So no critical thinking. The concept and processes are not internalized since students are not doing. The second level of laboratory, I call them as cookbook lab. What do you mean by that? Anybody? Through your experience, can you tell me what is cookbook lab?
What is
cookbook lab? Cookbook lab. From the terminology itself, you will be able to tell what I mean. What is cookbook? It is a recipe, right? Recipe you are giving to a person, and that person need to meticulously follow the recipe and then do the experiment, right? That means then he need not specifically think how to do it and things like that. Just follow the instruction, that's all. And starting from aim of experiments, apparatus required, procedure to be followed, a tabular column, calculation, everything is known in cookbook lab. And even we say the graph should come like this only. Yes or no? No reply.
Yes, sir.
We will say in engineering laboratories, we will give the model graph and then say your graph also should come like this only. Yes, agreed?
Yes, sir.
No answer. If as a student, what I have done, I'll tell you. As a student, I have drawn the graph first and then mark the points on the graph, 2 or 3 points little away from the graph, so that it becomes real, and then mark the filled the tabular column from the graph. Reverse work I have done. Is it possible? No reply once again. What I am trying to tell is, this kind of cookbook lab, there is no possibility of real inference, interpretation of what is happening and so on. So we may have to have very little number of cookbook labs in our laboratories. Next is structured lab, right? You need to tell me what is the difference between cookbook lab and structured lab. I'm showing both one by one, right? What is the difference between cookbook lab and structured lab? Anybody?
Structured lab means we have followed the predefined rule and regulations to conduct that.
Okay. No. From the slide, you tell me. From the slide. From the slide, what is the difference between cookbook lab and structured lab?
Analysis and conclusion include faculty and student both.
Analysis and conclusion is done by both faculty and students. In cookbook lab, right, everything is decided by faculty only. You give a lab manual, students need to just follow the same methodology and use the lab equipment, collect data, and then outcome is known. How many times we will find out the thermal conductivity of known material? I don't know really. How many times we will find out flash and fire point of a known fuel? I don't know really. That, and we unfortunately we call them as experiment. Okay. So what I am trying to tell is, if you change a little bit some factors, right, you will be able to analyze and get a conclusion in a different manner, right? Okay. So that is called a structured lab. In structured lab, students can make inferences, draw conclusions from one set of data to the another set of data. They can replicate the results, right? One batch can do and another batch can do in a different manner, and so on, right? Even the same batch can vary the parameters and do the experiment again, and then find out why it is coming like that, why it is coming like this, right? That is called a structured lab, right? So which is better? Cookbook lab is better or structured lab is better?
Cookbook lab, sir.
Huh? Which one is better? Which one is better? Cookbook lab or structured lab?
I think, sir, structured lab is better.
Structured lab is better
is
because
better.
structured lab is
There is
because better because you are giving flexibility to students, right?
Yes.
So that is why structured lab is better, right? Still, in structured lab, they are not involved in experimental design. Now, the next level, I am calling that as challenge lab. From challenge lab onwards, it is open-ended, right? Cookbook and structured lab, they are closed laboratories, right? From challenge lab onwards, it is open-ended. Now, what is the difference between challenge lab and structured lab? What is the difference between challenge lab and structured lab?
I think, sir, challenge lab might have some advanced aspects or practicals, and if it is made the base for evaluation, then we may end up in the very less percentage of the pass out, means pass percentage.
Don't worry, don't worry. No, what I am trying to tell is, if we worry about the pass percentage and other things, possibly implementation of outcome-based education is out of question. What I am trying to tell is,
no, sir, I want, what I mean was that challenge lab should be a little percentage of the whole evaluation process.
That is possible. That is possible. What I am trying to tell is,
it
in
is
your
what
laboratory, suppose you have around 12 experiments. Let 2 or 3 experiments, let it be cookbook. 2 or 3 experiments, let it be structured. 2 or 3 experiments, let it be challenge. Like that, it has to be. What I am trying to tell is, in challenge lab, the equipment, material, and design procedure, everything is decided by both faculty and students. Analysis and conclusion is done by only students. Then only the students will really work on it and then make the project successful, right? Otherwise, what is happening in projects? Students go to project centers and purchase the projects, right? Why it is happening that way? Because we are not making use of our laboratories in a fullest manner. So my suggestion to you, I will show you 2 more levels also, right? Don't think that open-ended experiments are not happening in our country. It is happening already. I have seen colleges in Bangalore, right? Those who are doing open-ended experiments, including structured lab, challenge lab, and so on, right? Don't think that, actually, don't link this with percentage of marks or pass percentage and so on, right? So next level is this, which is called student directed inquiry, right? Starting from engineering concept, aim of experiment, equipment, material, design procedure, everything is done by students. The professor is there as a facilitator, that's all, right? That last level is this, right? Totally it is student centered, right? It is called student designed inquiry, right? Complete experimental design student will do, right? And but it takes more professor time to guide each student and team. It is not that easy, right? I am not telling this open-ended experiment level, starting from demonstration, cookbook experiment, structured experiment, challenge experiment, challenge lab, and then student directed inquiry, student design inquiry. These levels, I'm not telling it is just easy to implement from tomorrow. but it is slightly a lengthy process, right? But we may have to start somewhere, right? That is what I am trying to impress upon, right? And even in the examination reforms policy document, right, the AICT has recommended open-ended experiments. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you should know what is open-ended experiments, and
sir,
you
on
should,
what basis we are saying what is better, what is not? What is the basis to predict that what design are better, what is not?
no, I'm not getting you.
So I'm saying on which basis we are saying that this design is better, design is not better. So what is the basis actually?
What is the basis in which we are telling which one is better? The very basis I'll tell you. Right now, our experiments are more of cookbook type, right? They are students are finding out only the procedural knowledge. They are having only the procedural knowledge. My contention is to make students more exposed, and then you involve in experimentation in the design process itself, so that it is always open-ended, right? If you give open-ended experiments, right, students can think and conceive their idea and things like that. It is we are restricting students creativity by giving laboratory manual, right? I will show you a sample, right? Now yeah, now you compare the traditional lab and then open-ended lab, right? Traditional lab will start with laboratory briefing, which we are doing, laboratory work with demonstrator. You will give the examination, test and final examination, finally end up with laboratory report. But if you give lot of open-ended experiments in the laboratories, right, it will start with laboratory briefing. You will work as a facilitator, right? Finally, your students' work will end up with research journal format. Okay, the laboratory report will not come. You will get a paper, right? Journal paper out of your experiments, right? That is a real experiment. Then you yourself tell me which one is better, right? And I'm just comparing the traditional lab style of various model, right? Demonstration of aerobic digestion, suspended solid determination in polluted water sample, biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand, determination using acid modification method, noise monitoring test using noise level meter. These are all the traditional lab style. But open-ended lab style, it is really a case study, right? Real cases, study of feasibility of food waste for biogas as renewable energy, lake water quality in School of Science, is it suitable for consumption, reliability of student hostel water filter, noise level in lecture hall. Like that, there will be a open-ended real case studies will be real case studies will be tested in the laboratories, right? So what I am trying to tell is, I am not blaming and telling that whatever we are doing is wrong, but unless we go for open-ended experiments, the real creativity real creativity of real creativity of our students will not happen, right? But the I am not telling just from tomorrow onwards you do lot of open-ended experiments and things like that. I'm not suggesting that. What I'm suggesting that is, we'll have to slowly move from cookbook lab to structured lab to challenge lab to student directed inquiry to student designed inquiry, and so on, right? So the real-time experimentation need to be started in the laboratories, right? I don't know what is the timeline which will fix it, but if you do that, right, we are ready for a model called CDIO model. That is why, since we are not starting this open-ended experiments in all our universities and institutions, right, we are staying behind comparing to various other institutes across the globe, right, in terms of um, uh, implementing the education model called CDIO. Sorry. Yeah. Any questions? I don't know whether I have answered the question of the professor who asked, right, which is better. I don't know.
Sir,
Yes, sir,
everything is better if lab is done. Even conventional labs, if it is done nicely, whatever is mentioned in the syllabus, the student learn something fundamental and he can go to open-ended lab, challenge lab. But once the fundamental lab is done, then only it is possible. Problem is that students are not interested here. This side, students are very less interested in doing their even traditional lab or structured lab. And in challenge lab, they think that this is part of a research work. That we generally see. Then what is the solution? How students will do the structural lab, even structural lab. They don't want to do structural lab. They just come, only few students do experiment, others just sit here and there and pass their time.
Yeah,
what is the solution, sir?
Yeah, I agree with you. That is why we may have to challenge them. That is why we may have to challenge them. And Cook lab is not the solution.
Challenge lab, if you give them any additional thing, information that you do this lab, you purchase the any equipment, anything from the market, they don't do. What can be done?
Hello.
Overall, sir, open-ended lab, we generally suffer. The students do not take interest.
Student not taking interest is one part of the story, but we may have to change our culture. We may have to change our culture, right?
That is.
We may have to change our culture, not towards the mark. Change our culture in developing.
I never go to marks. I never go to marks, sir. I never appeal.
Yeah. No. I am not telling. No. I am not telling any individual. Don't take it otherwise. What I am trying to tell is, we may have to change our. We may have to change our culture of actually just instead of completing the experiment, right, in a particular procedure, right, if we challenge them on the various other aspects of experimentation, and then their curiosity need to be developed, right, in challenge lab and in open-ended lab, real curiosity is challenged, right? So
Yes. There should be curiosity of students, only few percentage. That may be 2 or 3 or 5% students may be so curious that they can do and themselves the open-ended lab. Only few.
Yeah, I agree with you, sir. And please, my humble request to you is just develop that 5%. That will in future, in the due course of time, definitely the others also will join. What I am trying to tell is, the lot of patience is required, right? Lot of patience is required. I know our teachers are very very much they are very much capable, right? And then they want to do a best job to our students. right?
Student is also capable, sir. Student is also capable, but they want only job.
I agree with you. I agree with you, right? But lot of challenges are there in front of us, Professor, and I agree. I hope that the faculties like you, right, will really make our education system better than today, right? So my job is also that the whatever you are doing, I am not blaming which is wrong, right? I'm not blaming
Okay,
that.
sir. Okay, sir. I understand.
I am not blaming any individual or any institute in particular, but as a whole system need to change, right? You are an important stakeholder in change.
Yes,
right?
yes, of course.
I will definitely join with you if there is any support needed.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Any other question? I am really happy about the kind of response I got, right? But real patients need to be there, right? But this is the right time.
Engineering education is never possible without proper laboratory.
Correct. Exactly.
Never.
Exactly.
It is never possible. Lecture should be reduced. Practical should be increased.
That is why that with that idea only I have discussed about open-ended experiment, sir. So naturally, the engineering education, what we have done, actually in the graph also, in this particular graph also, I mentioned that the engineering as education has become more theoretical. So please make more practical, having a lot of open-ended experiments in place. So I have just gone to the that graph again, right? I don't know when that CDIO model will be implemented in our country. Only 4 institutions out of almost 4,000 institutions in our country, only 4 institutions they have started, right? That is 0.4%, right? So I would like people like you, right, to make initiative in the towards starting the CDIO initiative, right? NITTR will definitely support that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other question?
Sir, if faculty focuses only on the replicable research, that someone has done such type of research and you do so, just change the some materials or some other things. So how can the student could think about the fundamental thing? Yeah, ye fundamental research. If faculty,
I got it. I don't know whether I'll have to discuss this in this forum, but no problem. Actually, thing is, the ethical things are to be inbuilt, right? So your apprehension I really appreciate, but that is why I told lot of patients need to be there, and then the immediate solution will not come. We'll have to change our culture. That is what I don't know. The any individual whether he will be able to do that, but as an individual, what best we can do, if we do it, the culture, the institute culture will change. If every institute culture is changing, right, naturally the I will show you one more graph to answer your question. I will show you one more graph. Just a minute. This particular, you are able to see the graph?
no sir, not yet.
1 minute. Now, oh, I have not shared. Okay. I'm sharing now. I'm sharing my screen. Whether you are able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
This graph is prepared by a professor, a scientist called Horden, on implementation of outcome-based education. There are 4 kinds of people, 4 kinds of institutes, 4 kinds of states, 4 kinds of country. I will discuss all 4. Ostrich is a bird which will bury its head into the mud when the natural calamity comes, and then if everything is hello, just a minute. Okay. So ostrich, right, is like it is not worried about what the changes which is happening. Even in outcome-based education implementation, there are people like ostrich. They don't want to change. Number 1. Number 2, there are people like peacock, right? What is the attribute of a peacock? What is the attribute of a peacock?
So if we see in comparison of ostrich, then peacock can fly, ostrich cannot. Both
Okay.
are birds.
Yeah.
After a level, they can saturate actually.
No. Peacock's special attribute.
They can dance.
Peacock will dance. Yes. In a particular season, am I right? Peacock will dance
in a particular season.
in a particular when the environment is good, when the season is good, and things like that. Am I right?
So
Yes. I am not getting you. No reply.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes,
Peacock
sir.
will,
We are not
peacock will,
familiar with behavior of ostrich. Allah.
huh?
Probably we are not familiar with the behavior of ostrich, though we know about peacock.
Yeah, actually ostrich will not worry about anything, right? Peacock, at least it will dance when the season is there. That means there are people when in some season only they will dance. When accreditation team comes, they dance. When ACT inspection comes, they dance. Okay.
Absolutely.
I think you can understand what I mean, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
The third animal called beaver, right, which is the real implementer of anything, right? It is a sustainable animal which will live in land as well as water, right? And it will develop its own habitat and so on. So what I am trying to tell is there are different kinds of people in OB implementation or any transformation, right? I don't know whether we are ostrich or peacock or beaver. What is your idea? Where we stand? Whether we are ostrich as a country or as an institution, you can tell me, or whether we are Peacock or whether we are Beaver. You can honestly tell me.
Sir, I think disillusionized Beaver.
I think, sir.
Sir, I think disillusionized Beaver.
No, I'm not getting you. Louder, please.
But the situation is, sir, right now, I think most of the institutions are just like a peacock, because when the instruction comes from the different organization or AICT or TechCube or any other organization, then they
right now we are peacock only. You are right, but we need to be Beaver, right?
Yeah.
Fourth type is disillusioned Beaver, right? They have the capability, and then some institutes, after getting the brand value, they dilute, right? Or they sleep over. So remember, any implementation is not that easy, right? There are ostrich kind of people, there are peacock kind of people, there are beaver kind of people, right? Even ostrich I can accept, but peacock, we should not be like peacock, because we have the capability, but we do only when some emergency comes, right? So I request all of you to be beavers in future, and I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity, and I hope I have provoked you enough, I believe, right? That is my job, right? I don't know whether my job is to provoke you, and
exactly, sir. You really so interactive session, and you have given minute means minor level that your observations, how any institution, university can grow and implement idea universities. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
You are welcome. If there is any further question.
Yes. Now participant can.
Yeah. Any specific question to me? Don't think that.
I think session is already very interactive. Session is already very interactive, sir. Participants are continuously asking questions.
Yeah. I'm really happy about that, because if you ask questions, you are challenging me, right? So naturally, I may have to come to your this one, and then accordingly clarify. So special thanks to the people, those who ask questions.
May I ask a very not very relevant question, but
no problem, because every question to me is relevant. Yeah.
Sir. So what I think, sir, in spite of all these techniques of objective based education or outcome based education, a lot of techniques are there, and where in present scenario. But instead of suppose a teacher who is very honestly and very earnestly is doing his job, he is trying to convey all the information related to that particular subject, he is taking all the classes, the students are satisfied, he is right, whatever he has taught, he or she has taught, he has framed a question paper based on that, and the student, most of the students are performing well as in the examinations, and these being reflected through their results. So the question is, in this scenario, so if this kind of thing is exercised by a teacher, so can it fulfill all these objective based education criteria and all automatically, or there should be a compulsory written documentation for all these things?
Yeah. Actually, it is a very relevant question for information. Actually, the teacher's role is really ultimate. As you rightly told, Teacher is the important stakeholders in the whole process. I agree with you. But documentation, why people are insisting is, across the country, there are 5,000 plus institutes. The real, honest, dedicated teachers are few, unfortunately. Right? So, what I am trying to tell is, teachers need to evolve, right, based on their experience and things like that. Right? Yeah, honest, dedicated teacher cannot be replaced by any kind of documentation. Right? So, but dedicated teacher can make documentation also. And if you have an LMS in place, learning management system in your university, documentation is not an issue at all. But as you rightly told, the teacher's input is 100% important, and the dedicated teachers can change the life of a student, no doubt. I don't know whether I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for the question. It is wonderful.
For the system, it is necessary, but I think there are teachers and
there are wonderful teachers in our country.
Automatically fulfilling all those criteria.
There are wonderful teachers.
But there are.
Yeah, there are wonderful teachers in our country, no doubt. And the dedicated teachers are there, those who are doing their job meticulously well. Right? I salute to them. Thank you very much.
You have been one of them, sir, for us.
Oh, thank you for that. I'm still learning, but I'm really happy that if I am of some usefulness to you, I think I made my day. Right. Thank you very much for your kind words.
And
yes, Professor Shekhar. Okay, thank you very much. I think I've taken your time. So I thank once again the organizers for giving me the opportunity. I thank all the participants for their patient listening. Special thanks to the people, those who asked questions and then interacted with me. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome, ma'am. You are welcome. Over to organizers. I will share my mail ID in the WhatsApp group, so you can contact me anytime, and further collaboration we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sivakumar. You have nicely depicted the whole topic. Thank you so much. We have learned a lot from you.
Thank you very much. Nice of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Professor. Welcome.
So for the next session at 12, I will be back at 12. And the session will be an assessment of professional outcome and addressed high